Inkatha Freedom Party's request for a fuel price debate in Parliament has been declined by the Speaker. Fuel prices have been skyrocketing recently. The IFP wants government to explain what they are doing to cap the price of fuel increases. The party's chief whip in Parliament, Narend Singh, joins me now live virtually. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Singh. Of course, the Speaker is saying no to your request. Did she give you any reasons?
Good morning to you, Mr. Eko, and to your viewers. The reason flimsy in that what they've indicated that we have other platforms to raise this, in particular in this week where we are budgets and trying to approve the medium-term budget framework. However, I think that's a flimsy excuse because during those budget debates, one does not have sufficient time, not only for the IFP, but other political parties would not have sufficient time to express themselves on behalf of South Africans on this particular matter. To that, the urgent debate, which would have been a specific debate that hones in on fuel prices and the taxes and levies, has not been granted, but we will continue to use other platforms within Parliament to raise this issue on behalf of South Africans. And we also hope that non-governmental organizations and organizations like the Automobile Association and others who have also been in the forefront of asking government to look at the way fuel price is structured are also given an opportunity early next year in a full discussion in Parliament.
And of course, with that hiccup that happened from the Energy Department announcing that 81 cents per litre petrol price hike, only to come back and say it's actually 75. I'm not sure of the numbers exactly because we're so confused as South Africans. It's been going up so many times. I believe the IFP is not ruling out the possibility that this mistake has happened before.
Sorry, I missed you there, but just in general response, it's absolutely ridiculous that the Department of Energy could have kind of a statement and then reverse it a day later. You don't know, and an investigation will reveal whether these kinds of errors have been made in the past as well. So, this is not the end of the debate and discussion on fuel price increases, and we hope that all South Africans, all governmental, non-governmental organizations will weigh in when next year, again, we ask for a full commission into fuel prices and, how government imposes levies and why the accident fund, which is becoming a bottomless pit, is continually funded in the manner that it is through fuel levies.
Mr. Singh, there's also the fact that Parliament will be sitting, I think, in about a week's time. Will the IFP try to take that opportunity to raise this matter in Parliament?
Yes, we rise on next Friday, but there are going to be opportunities when we are going to continue questions to respective ministers, and I'm sure that the Minister of Mineral and Energy and the Minister of Finance are going to come into the firing line, not only by us but by other political parties, to give specific answers to what are they. Because there was some study that was commissioned in 2019 on capping fuel prices. Up to now, nobody has seen that study, and we're hiding. And you can't hide behind COVID. I mean, South Africans need to know why is it that these fuel levies are being imposed to the extent they are, and why is it that, okay, let's use India for an example, which came under pressure recently because of the fuel prices, which to a large extent are influenced by extraneous factors, but they decided to cut the levies, the government levies that are imposed, and find other ways of getting revenue into the fiscus other than imposing fuel levies. Because what happens when the fuel price is high, it doesn't only affect the motorist that's driving from point A to B, but it affects the farmers, it affects the taxi industry, it affects public use, it affects the price of food. So it's a basket of people that are affected by fuel price increases. And given what's happening now with Brent crude, fortunately it's going down a little, one's really got to be prepared to know what a government is going to do if prices continue to rise, prices of Brent crude continue to rise in the manner that they are.
What are some of the solutions that the IFP wants to bring forward in that debate once it is granted to Parliament in terms of helping us as consumers with these price hikes?
Well, one of the components of the fuel price increase is the money that goes to the road accident fund. The road accident fund is in a parlous state. They're owing over 300 billion rand. And I think it's almost contingent liability of the state that we have. And whenever you read about the road accident fund, you look at Auditor General's reports, etc., you find that the reports are terrible, to say the least. So we need to look into that. We need to look into why South Africans are being made to pour money into this road accident working effectively. In my days, when I was much younger, there was a thing called third-party insurance, where every person who had a vehicle on the road had to pay a particular insurance, and that went towards the motor vehicle assurance fund. Now, we need to think outside of the box, because we just can't this, increases on taxes on South Africans.